couple of weeks ago, I did a video on how the ESP32-S31 is available for sale, finally, after much anticipation. And now I got my hands on an official dev kit, and thanks to BiscuitShop owner Mr. Hedge, I got a Corvo model in my hands as well. This is super exciting because, man, the quality is insane. The specs are amazing, aside from the fact that there is no dual band Wi-Fi. That's like my only gripe with this. Why did you pack it with everything and not put dual band Wi-Fi? It needs dual band Wi-Fi. It touts Wi-Fi 6, but 2.4 gigahertz. Like, what? Why? Why? I don't understand, but it's okay because it's still exciting for the next generation of maker projects, and I'm here for it. If you're new to this channel, hey, how's it going? I'm your pal Cal, and today we're going to be unboxing the new ESP32-S31 official dev kit from Espressif, and we're going to go over the Corvo model. Now, fair warning, I haven't flashed it with anything. It's running the demo firmware on the Corvo, but man, I think that they've outdone themselves. Now, before we continue, the S31 is a dual-core RISC-V processor with clock speeds of 320 megahertz, as opposed to the S3's Extensa processor with clock speeds of 240 megahertz. This is a very decent leap, and as far as connectivity, we're not just limited to Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. We have Bluetooth, Wi-Fi 6, limited to the 2.4 gigahertz band, Matter, Zigbee, Thread. We've got all of the IoT connectivity that we could possibly want for home automation projects and simple IoT projects and even complex IoT projects, and a little bit more. We get HID support, which is a huge deal. The fact that we have everything that we could possibly want except for dual band Wi-Fi. That is like my only gripe with this thing, man. Why did they limit it to 2.4? If this had Wi-Fi 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, this would be insane. This would be like the greatest thing ever, as opposed to waiting for the E22 to come out, which, by the way, the E22 actually has a model that just got approved, Wi-Fi approved, and it's an M.2 key. I have my thoughts about this. I know where they're going with this. I'm for it. I like it. I just put this in a microcontroller, damn it. The S31 comes with dual I2S audio controllers, which is actually pretty cool. On top of that, 60 GPIO pins, gigabit Ethernet, and it doesn't matter what type of multimedia project you want to get going, it's capable of it. And I'm going to show you that on the Corvo model in particular. Now let's go over what comes on the box itself. We're going to do this unboxing together. On the corner right here, it says Wi-Fi 6, 2.4, Bluetooth 5.4, LE, BR, EDR, Matter, Zigbee, Thread, all lined up right here, and gigabit Ethernet right on the corner. Up to 320 megahertz clock speeds, and let's look on the side. It says technical specifications, ESP32-S31 Room 3, wireless 2.4, Wi-Fi 6, everything that we could possibly need in terms of specifications for wireless. Peripherals, it says 1 gigabit Ethernet, 1 USB-A 2.0 host support, and 2 USB-C UART to serial JTAG debug units, 40 pin headers, compatible with the ESP32-S3 LCD EV board sub 1, 2, and 3. I actually want to look for these specific dev boards. I don't think I have these in particular. Audio, it says a built-in microphone and supports a 2-watt speaker, and a little QR code that sends you to the datasheet. On the other side, it says Edge AI device, IoT gateway, smart home dashboard, and Espressif on both sides of those corners. Let's open this up together. Ooh. That's a chonker. That is a big boy. Carefully remove this. Oh man, I'm not trying to. Ooh, there we go. That's pretty. Go over what comes on the actual board. We've got our gigabit Ethernet port right here, USB 2, 2 USB-Cs, 1 for USB to UART, and our JST connector for us to attach a speaker, a color changing NeoPixel right there. We got our microphone over here next to our boot and reset button, and 40 pin headers that are not compatible with Raspberry Pi. I feel like I have to mention that because a lot of people see 40 pin headers and they just automatically assume that certain hats might be compatible. But let's measure how thick this little chonker is. Now I'm gonna grab a C5 just to compare the two. You can tell the S31 is slightly thicker than the C5, as well as a tad, I wanna say it's a tad bit longer. Now mind you, this is just the shielding, but let's measure it out real quick. I wanna say we're at 3/4 of an inch wide. Yeah, that's a solid 3/4 of an inch wide. Let's see how long it is. that is a solid, yeah, 1.2 inches long. And the C5 in particular is about 0.6 inches wide. Yep, 0.6 inches wide. And let's see how long that is. That's a solid inch long. Taking a look at the back of the S31, I gotta admit, man, I am in love with this board, but I can't wait till they have them in smaller form factors. Now let's take a second to talk about security features real quick, because they packed this thing up with features. It comes with an integrated, true random number generator, as well as a RAM-based PUF. But on top of that, they also have a hardware-based secure boot and flash PSRAM encryption, and cryptographic accelerators such as AES 128, 256, I believe, RSA, and I completely forgot the other ones, but they definitely made sure that this thing is made for real security. Now, the type of Bluetooth he's using is Bluetooth 5.4, which is amazing when it comes to directional finding and more complex home IoT projects. Now, we're gonna move over to the Corvo model, and I must admit, it is running the demo firmware, but I'll be able to show you what the object detection is like, the camera functions are like, because they're actually pretty good. I've seen developers work on game emulators so far on the Corvo model, and from what I can tell, it runs buttery smooth, which means that we're moving in the right direction for just the most fluid experience when working with microcontrollers as powerful as the S31. The Corvo in particular comes with this simple baseboard. I love how they put the logo on the back, and it says ESP32-S31 Corvo 1_ version 1.1. So this is one of their first units. I love official Espressif boards because they come so high quality. Let's remove this display real quick, and it's connected through the 40-pin headers right here. On the back of the display, we get a little bit of ENIG on the Espressif logo, and it's all connected through these ribbon cable connectors. It is touchscreen, and it's you know, I thought this was going to be bigger than this, but it's the perfect size. Now, the Corvo Dev Kit is slightly different from the official Dev Kit. From the start, you could tell there is no gigabit Ethernet port, which is a missed opportunity. I feel like they could have definitely put it on here. But we got a full-sized USB, USB 2, two USB-C ports, one for USB to UART and one for USB, a camera connector, and of course a built-in camera, boot and reset buttons at the top, as well as buttons for like a control panel on the bottom for a volume up, volume down, as well as a mode and set button, two JSTs for a speaker, and a footprint for some extended flash. 40-pin headers that connect to the actual display, and man, I gotta admit, man, this is a beauty. On the Corvo model, that top USB-C port is for power, so we're gonna plug it in real quick. Got a blinking LED. Excellent. And this is the demo firmware. We can conduct an audio test just by hitting record. If we add speakers, we can pretty much play it back. I don't know where I put my 2-watt speakers. I know I have them. We can add storage right here and probe storage, and of course, HID support at the bottom. Let's see if I can, yeah, see, man, the cameras, I know this isn't the best, but what I'm trying to say is with ESP32s, it gets kind of weird, man. Now, I've typically seen this type of camera performance on a P4, but the fact that we're getting this well, and I know if you've seen older phones like the 2006 smartphones, that's kind of what this feels like. It's not the best. I wouldn't even call it good. But for what's powering this thing, this is pretty decent. On the demo firmware, we can hit coffee demo. So let's hit this coffee demo. There we go. Cafe machine example project. This is hilarious. Espresso. I love it. All right, let's get ourselves a coffee. Choose your coffee. Latte macchiato. No, I wanted a ristretto. No. An espresso. Yes. I want it as dark as possible, and I want the full cup. Why can't I select? Oh, that's how I select. Okay. Is it next? Oh, we can connect to our Wi-Fi network, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, standby time, screen light. I gotta admit, this is a really smooth UI. I know this is an example of what you could make, but the fact that it's operating this buttery smooth, a 10 out of 10, man. The water and coffee have run out of the tank. Please refill it. click on the error message for details. Let's click on the error message. Let's fill up that water. Okay, I guess we're ready now. We're ready. Your coffee machine is ready to, let's press next. Oh, we can get complicated and fancy. I want it really hot, and I want it full, and I want it really dark. Let's press next. We can customize the foam. Okay, next. Please wait. Coffee is being brewed. Man, enjoy your, okay. I can see where they're going with this. This is a nice demo. Now let's go over the potential for cybersecurity projects on the S31. The C5 in particular excels at dual band Wi-Fi, and it has Matter, Zigbee, Thread, and, well, all the Bluetooth features that you could possibly want. The S31 now has all of that minus the dual band Wi-Fi. The C5 in particular doesn't have HID support, so no DIY USB rubber ducky. And the S3 had that, and it does a good job of it. We now have that back with the S31. The security features of the S31 paired with the Ethernet capabilities is amazing, and you'll for sure start seeing custom firmware being made around the S31, probably paired with a C5, or at least up until the E22 comes out. That's when things will really shift. Once the E22 comes out, at least in my opinion, you'll start seeing some just amazing projects, something that can outdo simple Linux computers. And I say that wholeheartedly because the S31, based on what I'm reading, tri-band Wi-Fi, insane clock speeds, HID support, and the capabilities of being maybe the best microcontroller that's ever been made. The S31, as it stands right now, in my opinion, is exactly that right now. This just might be the best microcontroller available on the market right now. Disagree with me? Comment down below. But with all the features that the S31 comes with, we'll start seeing some amazing projects both on the Corvo model and the Dev Kit very, very soon. I want to thank you so much for watching this video because it means the world to me, and I appreciate the love and support. Whether you like me or dislike me, if you made it to the end, you're amazing. And I want to give a special thank you to my Patreon supporters because you guys are the best. We'll see you next time.